From Let's Chit Chat UK. This is the right space to explore real-life issues affecting real people. We provide professional counseling to individuals, couples, organization, schools, church, and others. Follow, share, subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Let's Chit Chat UK.
Great. Good evening, good day, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you find yourself. We are back. This is Let's Chit Chat. It's powerful, glorious, wonderful. I am today joined with two mighty and great women. I have a counselor and I have a nurse, a specialist nurse. So women with the brain, with the beauty, with the strength. Introduce yourself, woman. Let's chit chat. Who's going to go first?
Right, hold on one sec. Hello. One sec.
Do you like to introduce yourself? We are now live.
Hello, my name is Odile. Glad to be back.
Brilliant. Excellent. We have Jackie, who is, I'm sure she's coming back in the next.
Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
Brilliant. Brilliant, Jackie. Jackie, we cannot see you properly.
Oh,
Okay. That's it. Jackie, we are now live. If you like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name's Jackie. I'm counsellor and studying psychology.
Brilliant. This is Jackie. So we are back this evening. We are missing our two men. Possibly one will join us today. I believe Pastor Enoch will join us today. And Richard, we are missing Richard. I believe Richard will join us next week. So we are back to business. Let's chit chat. We are chatting, we are talking, we are educating. This is a platform for real life people with real life issues and real life situation. So please share, comment. Richard is there. Richard is watching. Richard is greeting everyone.
Hello, Richard.
Hi, Richard. We are also greeting you, hoping you'll be able to join, but unfortunately, we cannot have you today. But hey, great. Today's topic is good. It's excellent. I love it because it's something that we all do every single day. So today's topic is the effects of social media on family and relationship. We know that social media is good for us. At the finger of our tips, we get to whatever we like, whatever we want to see, whatever we want to hear. But is it really that good? That's what we are about to discuss today or discover today. So, Odile, social media, what is the effects of social media? So we are talking about family and we are talking about relationship. Go ahead.
Hello. Oh, thank you for having me again today. Oh, wow. That's a very big topic and is very interesting. I think social media has a big impact on families and relationships. I believe social media is a good thing for us, for everyone, for our society, but I also believe that social media is having a lot of negative impact on our family life and our relationships. That's my first point. I really believe that social media is having a lot of negative impact on our lives.
Oh wow, that's your first point. Jackie, what do you think? What's your first point? What's your take?
Yeah, I have Facebook, I have Instagram. I just feel like family, I'm not talking about intimate family, I'm just talking about family in general. They've become like Facebook friends. And, you know, and yeah, I mean, if you need to contact someone urgently, then yeah, it's brilliant. But You know, there's a lot of negative stuff about it as well. And I think like people are pouring their heart out with their problems, and you're thinking, why are they displaying all this on like Facebook, social media? You know, where it should be like private as well.
Well, Jackie said it's good if you want to contact your family, but then issue-wise, Jackie thinks is really not good because people are displaying their issues, their problem. So, do you think that if someone goes to social media with their problem, are they looking for solution, or are they looking for attention, or are they looking for negative or positive comment in terms of taking the issue to social media? What do you think? I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think maybe it's because they want to maybe talk to their friends. Maybe they can't get a hold of them, and that's a way of getting hold of them as well. Maybe. But some things I read is like really like, I think, oh my God, how can you put that on there? You know? Yeah. So I try not to go on it too much.
From my point of view, I know we are focusing mainly on families and relationships. So I'm just going to give my opinion on those. I really think life has changed so much. People are just taking it way too far. And as someone who has family, I think people are just, I think the family is becoming something with all this, because before we used to enjoy eating together, you know, having it's when we're eating that we are talking, that we are discussing about our lives. But I find it very difficult these days to sit with people without them being on their whatever they are on, whether it's Instagram or Facebook. It has come to my attention, like some people cannot distance themselves with their phones anymore. So it doesn't actually matter what is the topic you guys are talking about. Somebody will always have their social media, the eye on it. And at times I feel like people are not even listening deep anymore, like, because they're so into that. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay, let me ask you this question, right? Before we go back to people being keen or hooked or just living on their social media, what do you think social media has done in terms of interfering with education, children's education, family rules and regulations, children teaching? Because now, as young as 4, 3, 5, 6, many kids are actually in tune with their social media, with their gears that sometimes an adult, you don't even know how to do it, but they can easily manipulate it. Is it that social media are actually mainly the teachers now? Have they replaced a lot of things that parents used to teach children because they are on social media, learning too fast? What do you think?
Well, I mean, looking at the current climate, we can understand that things have moved more online. So for me, it's a matter of how long are we online and what are we there for. So if my children are on Google Classroom, this is because they need to go and do some work. So for me, we are talking here more about the Instagram business, the Facebook, where I don't know, some people cannot control themselves anymore, because we used to talk to our friends when we have issues or something is, good time. We were happy to go and spend time with our friends. But um, I came to realize, even with my son, I'm having issues where I say, look, I want us to spend time together. I want you to talk to me, please, because we are in the car. He's on his phone, and I feel like, is it my fault? Is it me? What is happening? I want to talk to this boy. I want us to talk. I want us to share some good time together. But I really feel like things are a little bit out of control here, and there are times I don't know whether it's my fault or, so I don't know.
No, I can totally agree with you. Sorry, was you talking? I totally agree with you because I had some issues with my younger daughter. I used to be talking to her and she wasn't even listening to me. She's like with the earphones and she's on the phone, and I'll be talking to myself in the car and I'll be like, "Did you hear what I'm saying?" And she's like, "No, sorry." Yeah. So
Wow. So do we actually think that social media has replaced a lot of family time? Is it because family don't have a lot to say to each other these days, and there are so many things out there that people want to reach? Maybe people want to see the climate of who is in fashion, what is happening out there, what news is popping in and out, what thing they can follow or what thing they can like or dislike. That makes the family a bit boring. The topic in the family or in the household become a bit boring, or because people just don't feel like talking to the closer, someone who is very closer to them. They feel like talking to someone who is very far. Is it because of inspiration, grabbing inspiration from very far? What is it? Is it that people around you have become so bored that you want to reach the one that are very far? Attraction or whatever, what is happening? Because if young kids are also hooked as well as adults, communication has become maybe very poor with a lot of people. So therefore, communication is a lot more engaged with technology. Inspiration is a lot. Or can I ask this question? Is it because we often now don't want to be criticized, don't want to be corrected? So therefore, we know that just social media, people can correct us from criticize us from there, but they're not actually talking to us face to face. What is it? I don't know if that will play a bigger role as well, because someone can do something next to you, easily correct them. But reaching social media, correction is not face to face from there.
yeah.
Does that make sense? I don't know.
I really, I'm not sure. I will put my hands. I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on Instagram. The only thing I look at sometimes is YouTube, or sometimes my work tutor. So one thing I noticed from the very beginning, when all these things became a little bit more into, you know, into life, was that because I'm someone who can get carried away.
Mm.
I could have easily go that way where I will leave the things that are important because I'm watching some rubbish that people are talking about. And another thing that I really hated when I started, I was looking at my niece's Facebook, was what Jackie was saying earlier, the way people are exposing themselves, their lives, and everything is out there. There is not a single thing that people are hiding anymore. Things that used to be so personal, people are so free now to just expose it out there. If you ask me whether they are good or not, for me, I wouldn't go there because there are things that is a no-no for me. But in terms of what you were saying about whether because families we are bored, I don't see it that way. I just feel like if you, as the leader of the family, you're so hooked into it, there is no way you will not understand that this is causing damages to my family. Because as a woman, if you are so into Instagram and Facebook, some men have spoken to some men who complain that the woman wouldn't even notice when the husband comes home because it's either they are just on the whatever Facebook or whatever. So then who is deciding whether the family couples are bored or not? If you, as the woman of the house, you're so hooked into it, I don't know.
Jackie and your son,
Yes.
you both have said about privacy. You have said about privacy. Jackie has said about privacy. So let's say I, for sure, do from time to time put my picture on Facebook. That is when maybe my birthday or I feel good or something is just happening, but I will tag it with a message. So I put some kind of message in there. But I do happen to have a Facebook. I do happen to go on Facebook, but sometimes I go through the whole day without going on Facebook. Now my Instagram, sometimes I even go a week, which I'm meant to be going there almost every day, posting some message, encouraging message or counseling message or motivational message. But sometimes I'm that lazy that I can go a week without going on Instagram. But Facebook, at least someday I remember, other day I don't remember. So now, is it risky where we are talking about privacy? Some people actually, yes, privacy is very limited on Facebook. Some Facebook, some Instagram, that's where some family are living. More or less their lives is on Facebook. They dress on the day, they post it there, they eat, they post it there, they drink, they post it there, they dance, they post it there. So you both were talking about privacy. Is it good or is it bad? What do you think about that privacy?
I think if it's happy occasions and happy things, then yeah. But if someone's got problems, like say for example with their marriage or their boyfriend, or someone's cheating, they might put it on Instagram and then start ranting about it. Really, is this really necessary? You know, to let everyone know about what's going on in this bad situation, you know, where it should be a bit more private. Yeah, I mean, celebrating happy pictures and that. I mean, I'm not even allowed to take pictures of my kids now, and they don't like Facebook. But when they were younger, I used to be putting all Facebook pictures up. Stop.
We just
received
received,
a cat now.
we received the greeting from James. He says hello to everyone, greeting you, good evening. Jackie just said something. Now I've seen a woman whom I've seen a man who has also done that, whom the boyfriend cheated on, and also the girlfriend cheated on with someone else. He completely took the picture and put on, I think it was on Facebook. And the woman did the same thing as well. I think it was the boyfriend or the husband, kind of revenge.
Wow.
It was a revenge. So they put that picture on Instagram and they put that picture on Facebook. And I was like, wow. Now, what do you think about that kind of revenge? What do you think about that kind of information? Just like Jackie said, oh, good evening. We have a good evening from our very, very good dear Lizzie. Hopefully You will be free to join us soon. Good evening from Elizabeth. She's saying good evening to all of you. So hopefully
Good evening.
you'll be able to join us soon. Glad to have you on board today. So what do you think about that? We are talking about lack of privacy on social media. It is, to me, I feel, if you taking somebody else's mistakes and putting them on social media just because you're upset with that person, in terms of private relationship, because the person has cheated on you, and your way to avenge is to take that picture and stick it there, is it not a violation of the person's privacy? Because the fact that you're both in a relationship doesn't mean that you have to violate their privacy. They have their personal privacy, you also have their personal privacy that is to be respected. So therefore, them cheating on you, I'm not saying that is a good thing, but at the same time, violating that privacy and putting on social media. What do you think about that? I come back to what you said, that there's no privacy these days, because it's really, Jackie said that it's really disgusting to do that to somebody else. Don't you have private life yourself to expose your own private life outside? I don't know what you have to say about that.
Well, I don't know. I think it's tit for tat, isn't it? It's because you've hurt me, I'm going to hurt you, and vice versa. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, I always believe two wrongs don't make a right. So, you know, it's trying to work together. And, you know, it shouldn't really be public, should it? Well, that's my personal opinion. You know.
Odile, what do you
Yeah,
think?
no, well, I don't agree with that because exposing those things on the social media, for me, I just find it, I wouldn't say stupid, but there are ways you can let someone you're angry with them, because at the same time you're ruining that person's life and you're exposing yourself. So I guess for me, I just feel like life is so superficial these days. I don't know if it's me, if I'm still the all age person, or I don't believe on all these things. I have no issue with social media when it comes to your work, because they are good platform to you can grow. I agree, but you can see some families are making a lot of money on social media by doing whatever they're doing as a family. What I don't agree is the fact that as individual family, I guess this topic resonates a little bit for me because as I have teenagers and people in my house, there are times I really want us to spend quality time. And then you see everyone on their phone, and that irritates me so much. And I sometimes I feel, oh God, I don't know who created all these things. What have they? Why couldn't they create time that to say, okay, we set this, and these people will need to have a time when they are on social media and when they are away from it. So I guess it's just you
You went
people
off
who
there,
are
sorry.
sorry.
Sorry, it went off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, for me, social media, family and relationship is something that individually people need to try to control.
Mhm.
Because if we think about it, as a family, we grow together. The more you do things as a family, the better connection you have.
Mhm.
Because if your husband is at home, or your partner, whoever, then they're sitting on one side on their computer or their phone, and you're on your other side, how would you know what they're going through, what they feel, how was their day? And I find it like nowadays people don't really give each other time to reflect on things anymore, because there are so many distractions about wanting to know about other people's life than their own lives. I don't
Mhm.
know.
I very much like that comment, hold that thought. I'm just going to read what we received a comment from my son. And as I said, social media is a different culture together. Its impact is powerful and literally unstoppable. But notwithstanding, the before an individual is manipulated or influenced in any way, then he is or she self-actualization is done. So meaning that social media is just influencing people in a way that they themselves they're not in tune of themselves. That's what Jill just said earlier on, that a lot of people are escaping their own life and go on social media. That is a way of escaping what is wrong with one's life, escaping to deal with the situation that you're facing on a day-to-day basis. So social media will make somebody feel good about themselves, while they know that deep down in them they don't feel, there's nothing that they're feeling good, issues that putting them down, but goes to social media, makes them feel good, makes them laugh, make them smile. So it's an escape route for running away from the reality. Does that then trigger a lot more mental health because of what we see on social media, and we don't take care of ourselves and we're spending more on social media? Mental health kicks in, stress, anxiety, depression, social issues, and people are always maybe what I can say is, I'm not too sure. I'm going to ask you this question. Do you think that because of social media, people spending a lot of time on social media, everyone is now a bit on the edge? People don't tolerate so many things because you develop communication when you talk to people. The more you talk to people, the more you develop a very good communication level. You develop patience, you develop understanding, you develop very good listening skill, you develop good eye contact and all these things, and even teamwork. Now, if you're a lot more on social media, because social media doesn't talk to you back, you are talking to social media. There's no two ways communication, literally. Do you think that people spending too much on social media, making people become on the edge every time, where people are so much easier to offend? You can easily offend someone because there's no patience anymore. What do you think?
Well, I mean, again, like we were saying, when we know that a lot of people are using social media as a platform for whatever, for their work, for their businesses. But I think what you're saying is true, because people, I will associate mental illness with social media, because we all know that when you sleep well, you wake up, you're refreshed, and you feel better. Then we also not know that so many people are having sleepless nights because of social media. Some people will have a long day at work, they come in the evening, they are hooked on those platform they are. Before they know it, it's way too late. Then they have a few hours sleep, because there are time you see people are online at 2, 3 o'clock. If you're doing a night shift, you ask yourself, how long are they going to sleep to wake up and go to work the next morning? So I really feel like, yes, social media do have an impact on people's mental health and the ability to communicate. Because you will see also at times someone is so hooked on following someone that you want to ask them a question, they won't even have time, because they are they have to follow. They're following this person. They are doing that. It's crazy. I find it. So yes, as communication, you when you talk to someone face to face, it's so important. But when we don't do that anymore, the drifting, people are getting apart.
Jackie, what do you think? Mental
Yeah,
health, is it destroyed because we don't take the time to talk
yeah,
to
because
people?
I mean, I believe it's good if people can't get out, they can communicate with each other. It does help with mental health, so they can talk to someone, maybe Zoom, maybe FaceTime. Just having friends there as a network, as a group thing. But then some people take it to the extent where they want to argue with people and they put nasty things up on social media and they could really intimidate someone, especially if they've got vulnerable needs as well. And that person might feel isolated, lonely, depressed over it, and also have anxiety and suffer quite a lot of mental illnesses due to it, due to like social bullying as well.
Yeah, I was just going to ask a question about that. I'm glad, Jackie, you brought that on. Social bullying. Hannah, to what extent can you really judge someone on social media? Because now we are generation these days, we are judging each other on social media. Just the fact that you have seen somebody on Facebook, you have seen them on Instagram, you have seen them on Twitter, you feel like you know them, but you don't even know them. You can, in a way, people can, in a way, start saying this person is rude, this person is arrogant, and everyone will agree to it, but they don't really know the person. So that's the danger of social media. The social media allow us these days to conclude so fast without taking the time to know the real person, because we are just concluding on what we are seeing, not on what we know. Is there a difference between that? That we are concluding on what we are seeing. Let's just say, for argument's sake, you will see somebody dressed very well on social media. Automatically, you conclude that maybe they're working and they have a good job, or maybe they're stealing, or something is going on. It might just be that they just managed to put themselves very good on that day and take their picture and stick it there. But conclusion will automatically be hitting them, like you said, bullying. What do you think? Is it a danger then? Should we then say that it's a danger for you yourself as individual to put your picture there so that you're not bullied, or you don't face those kind of attacks or accusation? Or what do you think? Should we protect ourselves against those kind of things?
I think personally there should be, I mean, what's the word for it? You know, when people have been bullied and they've been like fake IDs and they manipulate people, especially like young teenagers as well, making out they're someone they're not, and you know, you have all this what's it called,
Cyber.
cyberbullying, and yeah, and also what's the other one? The other one is, yeah, social bullying. You know, like, you know, making fake accounts, making out there's someone and they're not, and putting all horrible things up, you know, 'cause people can be really manipulating as well, especially if you had an ex-partner or something and they find details of you and they could just make out they're you and put horrible stuff up about yourself on social media. Yeah, and it's not even you. Yeah.
Odile, what do you think?
Um, well, I think there are time people are taking things in one way, because sometimes you see people when they are posting things, people will appreciate them and they're so happy. But then they can't take criticism sometimes. It's just because whatever you have posted, they don't like it. It doesn't mean they are bullying you or they are. But I mean, if you always putting some pictures and you having 100 likes, there may be some people who will not like whatever you you put there. So I think in term, unless we have seen some issue where people are very mean to some people, other people are mean, like, oh, you're this, you're that. But as well, why are you posting certain things? Because for me, if I live the way I live, I know no one cares. So it doesn't matter how I am, how I look, because no one cares. But once you expose yourself out there, you have to get prepared that there will be people who will not like whatever you're doing, especially if it's not work related, if it's not your where you earn, if it's just because you're putting things there to look for likes, you should also be able to take the dislikes ones. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I love that. I love that. If you take the like, you should also be able to take the dislike. This is Pasenok. Pasenok hasn't been able to join. Pasenok says people need to develop themselves to decide what they should allow to get into them. Ship only sink because of the weather that gets them, not the water around them. So meaning that if you're on social media, you should be able to control the feedback that you receive from there, not allow whatever is negative to penetrate you. So you have to be strong. And then we have another comment that says, most people who are addicted to social media are mostly people who freely express themselves there. So they freely express themselves there. Therefore, we should create the environment for people to feel free around us. So more or less, if you're on social media, you want to go there, you want to express yourself there, then you should definitely be free if whatever comes around you. But there are risks in social media. If we go on social media, we make ourselves feel very vulnerable because we can be attacked anytime. We can lose our dignity anytime. We can lose our sanity anytime because we are already, like Odile just said, once you go on public view, you're on public view. So you should be able to take the negative and the positive. But it becomes difficult where Odile was saying earlier on that when we have people in the house, we definitely want to talk to them. And no one is willing to talk to us because they are all hooked on their device. And there's literally not much you can do about it because people are hooked on their device. Should it then be up to us as family at one point to say, you know what, from this time to that time, let us all leave our phones on the side, leave our computer on the side. Let's try to create a family atmosphere. Do we think that is possible? Can that work in these modern days? Do you think it can work? Is it too late for that?
Right. Christmas, I think. And that's what I get. Christmas Day. Yeah.
Wow. So the whole year, 12 months, the last day of the 12th month, that's when you get that.
Yeah. Christmas Day. If I'm lucky, maybe New Year's Day, I don't know. But yeah. Just
So that means
But
amazing.
Odile, go ahead.
What I was just saying that I guess it's all about individual belief, whether people are actually aware of what is happening around them or not. Because, for example, I had friends who did not, I mean, they have their children, and the daughter will say, "Oh, I don't actually know my mom that much because my mom works a lot. And then when she's at home, she's always on her phone." So, my point here is that, are we even aware of the impact these things are having on our life as families? So if people are not aware, if you as a mom, you're not aware that in 24 hours, you need to have time with your family where there are no interaction, because these are the things sometimes I will say to my son, look, those people you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, whatever, they have their time. If they have decided to do those things, some of them earn money out of it. But if I want to spend time with you, this is what I want to remember: the conversation I'm having with you, the activity I'm doing with you. So if as parents, we are not even aware that being so much across, so much in tune with all these social media on a daily basis, this is actually setting us apart, then they won't be even, they won't see it as a problem.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, I think you got it confused. No, I'm willing to cook dinner and do everything. But obviously, my younger daughter, she doesn't like my cooking. So she's with her boyfriend. The other one wants to do her cooking. So we're all in separate rooms, really, and cooking different times. That's what I meant by that. So,
So, yeah. So social media is taking quite a lot on family life. Should it be fair to say that because we are not aware of what is happening, like Odile just said, that often enough we are not aware that it's having a big impact in our family life. So we tend to carry on like that because we are not aware. And sometimes when we become aware, the habits, the culture, the behavior has been installed. So difficult to reverse because people have taken the habit of just staying on their phone. So therefore,
yeah,
a lot more
exactly.
difficult to come back to the original is because we are not aware when it's starting. When it's starting, it starts gradually, but then it grows and grows and grows. Then people become very inseparable with their phones, where they only pay attention to you when you maybe asking them something, or you sending them somewhere, or you're giving instruction. After that, there's no further communication with each other. So really, we are now more hooked in technology compared to knowing what is happening around us. Then we go back to mental health, then we go back to issues, then we go back to situation. So it then demonstrate that often enough we're going through issues that somebody in the same house, in the same room could have resolved, but it can go on to destroy you because of you are hooked on social media. So there's no time to trying to seek for advice. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it
think it
can
does.
be annoying. It can be annoying if you're, say, you're sitting down for dinner and someone's on their phone and someone else is on their phone, and you're thinking, we're meant to be sitting here having dinner, and everyone's like, look at their phone. That's really annoying.
Mm.
Yeah, I think one thing that made me a little bit sad at some point is I was going through a really hard time, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not on anyone, but still I'm on WhatsApp.
Mm.
So I didn't even know what the status on WhatsApp means until I discovered that, oh, you can actually send some things or other pictures or whatever on that status. And then someone showed me that, do you know that actually when you are sending that, people are looking at it, and you can see how many people have looked at it. And I was actually very surprised when I looked at it. Then I realized that so many people that I don't really talk to, or they don't talk to me or something, were like the first, as you put a thing, within a minute, they have looked at that. Then I said, this is very strange because this person doesn't talk to me, but yet because I have put something, they have straight away looked at it within a minute or so. And I felt sad because I was like, wow. So people are more inclined to find out what is happening, what are you posting there, than maybe a time to take their phone to call you and say, oh, I noticed that this is happening. I'm sorry. You understand? So for
Mm,
me,
Yeah.
I think there is so much that is not right about all these things that people, for me, I feel like, why would I want to know what is your problem? Um, if I don't talk to you, or even if I have seen something, but yet I can't call you to say, oh, I saw this, I didn't know. I'm sorry, like what you have posted there is it sounds like it's sadness. But so what's the point of
mm,
those things then if they're not something that can be a positive thing?
mm. I get your point. Richard and Pastor Enoch just texted some comment. Pastor Enoch said, I think people in a relationship must come to understand on certain things like that of social media. It will wonder that people during love making could be on their phone socializing also. Wow,
Wow.
that is unbelievable. That is, it has gone to that extent. So keep that
God.
thought. People are socializing when they actually in bed. Keep that thought. Then
God.
Richard said, "Hoops just joining those dinner situations. What do you think of phone in the bedroom?" Again, Richard is asking the same thing. What do you think of phone in the bedroom? Meaning that it goes back to what Pastor Enoch has said. People are using phone on those occasions. Then Pastor Enoch says, I went to a friend's house and I was watching football. She came to me and asked me that am I serious? And then asked what is it? And then asked, she did what is it? She said, did I came all that way from her house to her house just to watch football? It's annoying that you are with someone and their focus is on social media thing. So most people, time has been taken by social media, causing breaking of relationship. So the relationship are broken because of social media. So basically, then Richard says, "Son, should women know better? Should women know better when it comes to social media? Women have historical been gossipers. Has this added fuel to the fire? Don't men needed to talk more?" So woman has historically been gossiper. Richard is saying he's calling us, you and I, gossipers. But then Richard, we forgive you for that comment, but we are carry on. So then Richard is saying that should women know better? Richard is just saying exactly the same thing that Odile said earlier on, that women should be really able to pay more attention to these things. So we have two questions here. Should women know better about
Mhm.
not staying on social media? And we have also a comment from Pastor Enoch saying that women are taking phones to their bedroom, and even when they are having sex with their partner. What do you think about that? Not just women, people are taking phone to their bedroom, he said.
Right. I take my phone in the bedroom from my alarm clock. So that's it.
But the question is, some people are taking phone to their bedroom when they actually having
Yeah.
sex with their partner.
Wow.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't believe that.
yeah, that one is a bit, it's strange, isn't it? I'm not too
Mm.
sure that will be detrimental. But Richard is saying that that is destroying the relationship, frustrating relationship. But Richard is saying that shouldn't women know better to limit how much time they spend on social
Right.
media? And Richard is saying, is it because of the gossip? So,
Right, can I just say something?
mm,
Why is it only down to women? Shouldn't men know that as well?
question for Richard. Richard, should men know better? Shouldn't it be both ways, men and women? Richard is saying in a way that he feels like women are always talking a bit too much compared to men. So is
I
so
have to disapprove with that.
Richard Jack is not agreeing for women talking a bit too much more
No,
than women.
I believe there are quite a few men out there that do gossip as well, and they do like talking. Yeah, so I think it's the individual really, not just you can't really say man, woman. It's the individual person.
Mm, yeah.
I don't know if you guys are having the same problem I'm having with the connection here.
Yeah.
Oh, I had that
You
earlier.
Yeah, you went and you back again. That's fine. So Pastor Enoch is saying that Jackie, then so why many leakage of people having people leakage of people having sex, meaning there are many leakage of people having sex. So Pastor Enoch is saying that a lot of people are taking, or possibly women are taking phones to the bedroom, because they're taking phones to the bedroom and they're recording themselves having sex, and they actually
Oh
post
God.
social media. And I think I seen I was posted two video of something like that. I had to call the person who posted them and said, you know what, next time, I'm sorry if you watching this kind of video, don't send them my way again. This is disrespectful. And it was really, I would say it was exactly what Pastor Enoch is saying. It was exactly, you can see that these are personal, private, individual people. And I'm wondering how will that come to that extent? So meaning that one or the other has actually taken the phone to the bedroom and recorded that. Social media, as we are talking about the effects of social media, it is a crime, isn't it? Things like that. It's criminal offense, to me, I believe or think.
I think so. I'm not sure. It's only if it's consent on both parties, I believe.
Mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm.
But
Well, I think
still,
it's all to do
it's
with individual, isn't it? All
yeah,
of us. It's all of us to know when is enough. Because
yeah,
as Richard is saying, it's not only women. We have men who do not actually talk to their wives when they come to work. The minute they finish having a shower, eating, then they're hooked on their phone to catch up whatever they didn't see or watch during the day, and they won't even talk to you. The minute you want to have a conversation, they are okay later. I'm just watching this. I'm just doing this. So for me, like I was saying earlier on, the awareness of what this is doing to us is so important. I think we need to bring that into, we need to make people aware that when you have a family, unless you do things together and you talk together, then you don't actually know who you are with. Because if we make excuses because we are all busy, not being busy, then easily you can spend 24 hours without having a proper conversation with your family member or your partner, because we already spend so much time at work doing all the things. And when we are together, instead of having some special moment, but then we allow that all those things takes over us. So my question here is that how do we rectify that? At what extent do we know the damage that is causing in us as individuals?
Mm. I love that question. It goes back to what we were talking about, our mental health, because it's really detrimental. Our mental health is damaged because our morality even is damaged because of social media. Some people have reached a stage where you cannot correct them, you cannot rebuke them, you cannot say anything because they haven't been in that environment. They are spending a lot of time on social media than talking to people. So anything for them is allowed or is accepted. But then mentally, people are not stable because mental health is not taken care of. It's only taken care of if you talk to your loved one, you talk to people around you, you express yourself. But talking to social media, you feel lonely, you feel abandoned, you feel rejected. When you have an issue, you're more likely to be hooked by yourself and you alone and that problem because you're not used to opening up to people. So having that problem automatically will not mean that you will have to talk to someone because you haven't had the habit of talking to someone. So I'll just like what Odile just expressed, and Jackie also said that it's very difficult when people are hooked on social media, talking to the phone, talking to the computer. So you can easily live with an individual that you don't know them, you don't know their character, you don't know their behavior, because you haven't been talking to them. You don't know their reaction to things because there's no communication. And then Odile put a question there, how do we rectify that? I'm just going to read a comment that Richard said, life is so busy, Odile. You are talking sense. Preach on. Tell some men. Tell some men can their self-esteem affected if a partner is on mobile phone. So Richard is saying, can somebody be affected or somebody's self-esteem be affected if their partner is often enough on phone or on social media? Then he goes on to ask that men interact, but for sure, face-to-face is vital. Again, Pastor Enoch is saying he's agree with Sister Odile that family needs to build better communication and even take vaccination together. So they need to take vaccination together, meaning that go shopping together, meaning that go out together, do things together. What do you think about family doing things together? If family learn to do things together, will that improve their communication? Now, we're going to talk about two types of country because before you answer that question, I've realized often enough that when I do travel to Paris, and I think Odile can probably confirm or disagree with me on that level. When I go to Paris, when I go to Switzerland, when I go and see my family abroad, every evening, everyone sits on the table and eats together. Morning, they sit on the table and have breakfast together. Saturday, either they go to the restaurant in the morning to have breakfast out or have breakfast in the house. Whichever way, every evening, they dress the table just like you were back home and everyone eats and they remove stuff on the table, clean them, sit a bit and go to bed. Should it be fair to say that this country, United Kingdom, on social media is worse than any other country? Odile, can you answer that question for me, please? And Jackie, if maybe you have a view on that.
Right, okay. I don't know. I don't know if it's worse. I always thought UK was behind America, so I think America must be bad. I don't know. I don't know really.
Well, yeah, I mean, to be honest, I agree very much with what Cecile is saying in terms of family life. To be honest, when I go away, like you were saying, France, Switzerland, I'm so shocked with the different way of they live over there, because they really, really value family time. And I remember on a few occasions, I say to myself, when I go back to the UK, it doesn't actually matter. I'm going to make sure I do this. But sadly, in here, it's not just social media, it's the way people work and the way people are so individual. I find it very difficult in here. Uh, in France, my friends, like Saturday, most of them do not work Saturdays. So when I go there for 2 weeks, I know this Saturday we are in this person's house, the other Saturday we are in the other one, and they all make food. And you don't really see, yeah, you will see fun when they are making music, people are filming. But this is a time where people are actually sitting together and eating and chatting. But in here, I find it so hard. I've been to a few friends where even when you're there, they are still on their social media. They are still on their phone, because this is the way they've been used to. It's like they have this thing about finding out, knowing what is happening out there, commenting on what somebody has posted. And it's just sad. And I just feel like if we can learn something like today, it's like how do we get the awareness of that this is actually destroying us and is setting us apart with our friends, our family, because we may not realize it until it's way too late. Like you can be in the same house with someone like Cecilia you were saying earlier without knowing them, because you hardly speak to them. It's either you are work the whole day, by the time you come in the evening, you don't sit together to eat, you don't do nothing together. You people can go for a week without doing things together with whoever they live with, and easily time goes on and you tend to think that this is the norm, but it's actually not the norm, I think.
Yeah. Jackie, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I love sitting down at the table, everyone eating together, but yeah, it's just like, it doesn't really happen a lot. But it used to be when I was growing up, it used to be every Sunday, you sit at the table as a family, you do not move until everyone else has finished their food. But now, I mean, if I do dinner and then sit at the table, everyone gets up when they're finished. So it's like totally different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big lesson for us, and I pray it's a big lesson for our listener, and I hope people can learn as well as us ourselves can learn something about it, because family are being destroyed because we don't have the time for each other. Even friendship are being destroyed because we don't have the time for each other, not just family and friends. That network system is being destroyed because we don't have so much of a time together to actually communicate with each other. Richard is saying, can we bring Paris here? I wish we can bring Paris here. That will be very good, Richard, because every time I've gone to France, every time I've gone to Switzerland, every time I've gone to those countries, in the morning breakfast is everyone together before people go to work. And in the evening, dinner is set for each and everyone to eat and talk before everyone sets for their bed. So it's automatic. So hopefully we can bring it here. Richard is saying the best thing about social media is being able to call family abroad. Yeah. Which Jackie said earlier, you can also text somebody that you thinking of them. Social media being so impactful. You are so right. Richard is saying we should all go out for a meal or a drink. Let's chit chat, drink. Richard, thank you. Our time is long spent. We have consumed our time, and I hope this has helped anyone out there. Social media is good because we can call family and friend, but when it's going to the expenses of us losing a loved one, not knowing who we staying with, who we living with, then it's dangerous. Jackie, final advice to anyone who is hearing you on social media. You have first-hand experience as well as all of us, first-hand experience, like how it's difficult to communicate in our own houses because of social media. So what will you advise somebody tonight who is hearing you? Jackie?
Right, okay, sorry, cut out there. Could you say it again? Sorry.
And what will you say as your final word to anyone tonight who's hearing you? Social media.
I say social media is excellent for communicating with people, especially if you can't travel so far, and say you've got family in Birmingham, or you might have family in France or Germany, etc. And you can talk and you can Skype and you could FaceTime, then yeah, it's excellent. But then I'm just saying, like, be careful if you ever talk to someone new on Facebook or Instagram or something like that, to make sure they're a real person. There's a lot of fakes out there, and people using different people's IDs as well. So just be careful.
Excellent. Be careful. A lot of fake people out there, and people are using others people's information on social media. So be aware of scams out there, Jackie saying. Thank you, Jackie. Odile?
Yeah, I mean, I will just say, please, we need to get the awareness out there about the effect. Social media is a wonderful platform. They are all good because so far they have helped us to be able to link with relatives who are not close to us. But at the same time, in our own homes, I think we need to look at it closely and to trying to look at the time we spend with each other. How do we communicate with our children, our partner? Do we let them too long on those things? Do we actually take time in 24 hours to have some meaningful conversation with our loved one? Or do we allow our children to spend the whole day on them without even asking how was their day? So for me, I think the awareness of that social media can have a big impact in our family. Then the awareness of that is important, so we can change a bit. So we have more contact, physical contact and communication with our loved ones and friends.
Excellent. Pastor Enoch is saying that social media should rather connect us, like both of you said, when you have family far from you, should connect us, not separate us. So it should put us together. That's very good. Tonight has really been constructive, where we have heard a lot of view about the both of you, Richard, Pastor Enoch, about social media, how good it can be, and also how bad social media can be. And I think many issues and mental health issues are based on social media. Not that directly social media is causing those, but indirectly social media is causing those, because we don't get the time to talk to each other. We don't get the time to know each other. We don't get the time to know the people who are around us when they have a problem. We don't have the time to ask them, do you have a problem? Are you okay? So we can spend some quality time. That Odile is saying, quality time with the people that we love. Maybe go to shopping together. Maybe just stay and watch TV or something together and communicate with each other without touching our phone, without texting. We've had
Yeah.
really been alone by ourselves. So really take advantage of every opportunity. And it's that when someone is departed, then you cry for the person, but when it was not really there, you were on social media hooked with your own thing. So then if the person is not there, then we feel the emptiness of the person who was already gone before they left you. So let's take advantage of talking to each other, enjoying our company. Thing. And they say when you laugh and smile, it makes you feel healthy and look healthy and behave healthy. And that can only be done when we connect with each other and talk to each other. So tonight it's been great. It's been awesome. You've been excellent. Richard is saying, please share, subscribe, and follow us. We are so grateful that you have been able to watch us tonight. This is Let's Chit Chat, the platform where we discuss real issues for real people. Until next time, next week, same place, same time, let's chit chat. Women, let's say bye to our viewer. We appreciate having you.
Good night.
Let's Chit Chat UK live stream. Hey, I'm Pastor Cecile Abba, a counselor by profession from Let's Chit Chat UK. This is